Rangers making their first ever appearance in an FA Cup Semi Final. And they're greeted by nigh on 20,000 Rangers supporters who are occupying the North Bank Terrace away to our left. In contrast, West Bromwich Albion make their 19th appearance in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, an all-time record. They've got rather more than 20,000 fans here, most of them at the clock end, although both clubs have returned some standing tickets, so the crowd will be some way below the Highury capacity. Indeed, the projected attendance just over 40,000 in a stadium which can hold nearly 60. Two players in particular, though, have mixed memories of Highbury. For the West Brom captain, John Weil, it was that semi-final here 4 years ago when a gash on the head against Ipswich meant he never finished the match. And for Clive Allen of Queen's Park Rangers, it was the 62 days he spent here as an Arsenal player before he was sold so suddenly to Crystal Palace. The Rangers team includes 8 London-born players, and Terry Venables has gone for experience at fullback, where Terry Fenwick and Ian Gillard are recalled. The suspension of John Gregory is obviously a blow, but Tony Curry at number 7, a vastly experienced midfield player, and number 10, Simon Stainrod, has scored 20 goals this season. West Brom have 4 survivors from that 1978 semi-final. One of them, Derek Statham, was past fit last night. But the big surprise is in midfield, where England B player Gary Owen is dropped to substitute, and Steve McKenzie is recalled for his 4th Cup semi-final in only 2 seasons. 2 with Manchester City last year, 2 with West Brom this year. Last year's Cup final referee, Keith Hackett from Sheffield. The atmosphere on semi-final day at once tense and yet festive as Nicky Cross gets Albion going. They're in the stripes, playing from the right, and Rangers today are wearing red shirts. It's Flanagan down the left for them. So first division against second, and here's Cyril Regis, who will battle it out with Bob Hazel. Terry Venables, the Queen's Park Rangers manager, 3 times an FA Cup semi-finalist as a player with Chelsea and Spurs, and once as a coach with Crystal Palace. Next to him is chairman Jim Gregory. Gillard out to the left again. Rangers have got 4 the other way. Waddock is joining them now. In for Stainrod. Robertson coming out of defence, but here's Gillard. And now Flanagan. Stainrod. Flanagan's cross. Allen's there! So often he scores from those positions. The combination out on the left was Stainrod and Flanagan, but the snapshot was Allen's. Flanagan. Curry. Stainrod coming in, Batson hesitated there. Still Stainrod. It's come to Allen. And now Flanagan and Micklewhite. And Flanagan and Stainrod. What a tangle in the Albion defence. Stainrod. And Tony Curry. Blocked by McKenzie. On the break, Hazel denies Regis. But that was by no means first division defending. Rangers had the Albion players all over the place. Well, they're enjoying their afternoon. Waddock. Foul by Zondervan. And Romeo Zondervan is booked in his first FA Cup tie for the trip on Gary Waddock. And the famous Highury clock tells the tale. Referee just adding on time for stoppages now at the end of the first half. On by Regis. Zondervan. Half-time arrives, as it so often does in semi-finals, with nothing between the teams. Albion started brightly, but as the half wore on, we saw more and more of Queen's Park Rangers. And a half-time score, 0-0. Curry. Just behind him is Micklewhite. Getting into the game a lot now, the number 11. Looking for Flanagan. Allen is in there, so it's Stainrod! Well, the two clear shooting openings we've seen have fallen to Queen's Park Rangers. Allen in the first half, and Stainrod there after Flanagan had knocked the ball back in. It was bouncing up invitingly for him on the volley. Here's Tony Curry. Stainrod wants it early. Flanagan has moved inside. Allen is on the far post. And that's Rangers' first corner of the match, coming after 70 minutes. Hazel has gone forward, so has Fenwick. Allen standing on the far post. Flanagan gets in. Half away. Here's Micklewhite. Only half away again to Stainrod. Nice ball back to Fenwick. Bob Hazel still well forward. Well played. And Allen. And Fenwick. And now Micklewhite. And Hazel. And Ali Robertson. Oh, and it's gone in! Clive Allen didn't know much about it, but he scored. The ace opportunist puts Queen's Park Rangers in front. A very good piece of play by Terry Fenwick out on the right. That has to be said first and foremost. And Bob Hazel's presence was important too. But the clearance literally hit Clive Allen and went in. Zondervan. So the second division side in front, and Allen, whose goal beat Crystal Palace in the 6th round and who scored 4 in one match against Blackpool earlier in the competition, strikes again. On the ground where he never actually played a senior match in his short spell with Arsenal. He's given Highury something to remember today with his 15th goal of the season. Will it be the one that takes second division Queen's Park Rangers to Wembley, I wonder? And a foul throw won't help Albion. John Weil, so dearly wanting to go to Wembley at the end of his career, knows now his side are in danger of coming off second best in another semi-final. They lost the League Cup semi-final to Spurs already this season, remember. Stainrod. Gillard coming up in support. But he's in no hurry. Simon Stainrod. Curry. Gillard. in early. Flanagan's in there. Steinrod, was he held? No, the referee says he was doing the holding. And for Terry Venables, it's a question now of checking the watch and hoping that his side can hold their lead. Second Division Queen's Park Rangers go to Wembley, courtesy of a goal in the 72nd minute by a man who's almost lost from view. Clive Allen, who will be 21 on the Thursday of Cup Final week, can't believe what's happened to him. And Bob Hazel was brilliant for Rangers today, one of their outstanding players. He subdued Regis, and Allen got the ricochet off Robertson's clearance to give Rangers a place in the FA Cup Final for the first time in their history. His dad played when they won the League Cup in '67. He will now play as they go into the FA Cup Final of '82. The man who came to Arsenal for 62 days and was quickly sold to Crystal Palace. His career appeared to have taken a wrong turning, but what a way to turn back in the right direction. Clive Allen, the match winner. Second Division Queen's Park Rangers through to the Cup Final. And for West Brom, the sickening feeling of losing an FA Cup Semi Final at Highury for the second time in 5 seasons, and their second Semi Final defeat of this season.
As the final whistle went, Clive, there were some very emotional scenes.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. Normally, the funny thing is, normally I know where my parents are sitting and where they are. Not because I know beforehand, I just seem to be attracted to them. I couldn't find them when I scored the goal, but after the game I see my cousins, and obviously they was all in the same row, which I was delighted to run up and wave to them.
It's some football family, yours, isn't it, with your father having won at Wembley and Paul, your cousin, and a lot of people here today from your family.
Yes, there was. There was about 25 of the family here today. Paul rang me Thursday night before he went up to Manchester with West Ham first team. And he just said to me, you know, it's a fantastic day, and it's well worth going. You know, he said he wished me all the best, and you know, that was fantastic. And he just said, you know, go for it and go and experience the day, which we've fortunately done.
And when you look back on the game, I would imagine that apart from the first 10 minutes, you must have felt you were more or less the better side throughout.
Yeah, I think we'd trained all week and we'd set out our plan for the way we wanted to play. Terry would obviously give us the incentive to go and play as we wanted to, not to worry about West Brom. And it seemed to go pretty well. At half-time, all he was concerned about was just keeping our authority on the game and going and scoring. I felt overall was the better side. Not saying that it was a good game, but I think we were definitely the better side.
And now Micklewhite. And Hazel. And Harry Robertson. Oh, and it's gone in! Clive Allen didn't know much about it, but he scored!
I must admit, lump come to my throat when the ball went in, and then, of course, it was a long 15, 20 minutes or whatever it was to the end of the game. And, of course, it's very emotional. We've got quite a few sort of young boys there, and they're all very upset and in a good way, you know, and just emotionally full up, you know. It's a wonderful moment for us.
What, as far as you were concerned, was the tactical key to the match?
Well, we did play different, and we wanted to keep the ball away from them and try and run them out. I've seen them a couple of times, and we've picked up a few things, and they're a good side, you know, and we had to make sure that they didn't catch us on the break. And Tony Curry was going off and into the back, and our full-backs were breaking. I felt they had a problem trying to stop our full-backs. Tony or Glenn Roeder were putting our full-backs in, and we were starting our build-ups mainly from wide positions, and I thought that we did it very well, and I was very pleased.
That was true on the goal, wasn't it, in that it stemmed from Terry Fenwick on the right?
That's right. Most of our build-ups, actually, I mean, it started from Tony Curry, but we were going to try and get it wide and then start from there. And we kept the ball, we wanted to be patient, and we were saying we haven't got to win the game in the first 5 minutes. Let's take our time and not be pushed, because it's so easy for a team like us that we were underrated and we were 4-1 against, which upset me in the first place. I thought that was a disgrace. The bookmakers put us at 4-1. And that was quite a good spur, actually, because I think that upset everyone.